Welcome to the Stream. Written by the Eagle Fox. Read by Arashi. June 2021. Shumai, hurry! It's gonna start any minute! Kokichi shouts from the living room. Coming! Just getting the food ready! He hurriedly pours some curry sauce onto the fried pork and white rice already laid out on the plates. It was Shuichi's turn on lunch day, and given the summer rain going on outside, he decided to whip up a quick katsu curry for the two of them. The 21-year-old grabs the two plates, with napkins, to avoid burning himself, and power walks towards the living room. Kokichi is practically bouncing in his place on the floor as Shuichi sets the curry dishes down on the coffee table. The young man takes a generous sniff at the air. My little chef sir knows how to please his leader. Smells great as usual, Shuichi. He reaches for his plate and is already scooping up the little bits of everything. Now, before you miss the show. Even with a mouthful of curry and a stray bit of sauce on the corner of his lip, Kokichi is always so adorable when he's eager. Today happens to be another of E3's live stream presentations, with Nintendo having a spotlight on today specifically. Shuichi considers Kokichi to be the bigger gamer between the two of them, so he's more the target audience for E3 week as opposed to Shuichi himself. Probably even more so considering Kokichi has been doing Twitch for a while now, and live reacting to game events with an audience is pretty common. But Shuichi has still chosen to join him on the off chance certain announcements get his attention. However, the past couple of presentations have been a little off, subpar to say the least. And that's an observation from someone who doesn't consider themselves a huge gamer by any means. A bunch of people are hoping for Nintendo to be the saving grace from what the internet has deemed a rough few days for E3, and Shuichi is inclined to agree with them. He knows Kokichi feels the same way. Only a handful of announcements, maybe even less than that, got his attention while everything else was deemed boring or unnecessary to him. Hey, I can cook too. Today just happens to be Shu's turn to make lunch. The chat seems to be joking that Kokichi is too lazy to cook, but the former leader is all but ready to banter back with his audience. Just as Shuichi is about to join his boyfriend on the floor, he realizes he forgot something in the kitchen. Crap, the drinks! He quickly runs back while hearing Kokichi laugh at his partner's sudden forgetfulness. Get that booty of yours into high gear, you'll miss something. What? Nuh-uh, he's not bringing me another panta. You guys really think I'm that predictable? Shame on you. Kokichi is actually right. Shuichi had set aside and opened some bottles of ramune for the two of them. Lychee for Kokichi, melon for himself. But in rushing to bring the plates, he completely forgot to go back for the drinks. All right, we got about a minute or two till the stream starts. Everyone in the chat, list off your predictions. Go! Shuichi hurries over with the drinks in tow and sits down. Kokichi thanks him with a quick kiss to the cheek as he starts to mumble and respond to a few of his chat's predictions for the conference. He can see a bunch of people saying that a new character for Smash Ultimate will be dropped. Shuichi thinks that's a given, though. Some other listings catch his eye as he starts to work on his curry, which came out great, if he says so himself, which both he and Kokichi comment on. News on the upcoming Pokemon game sounds reasonable. Nah, a big franchise like that would wait to have their own presentation entirely. It's shitty given the remakes are around the corner, but not much we can do about it. A few people are saying news for a Sonic game or two could happen. Not too far-fetched with all the anniversary stuff happening this year. The red Nintendo screen suddenly fades to a black screen with the rating system, followed by a white screen, informing the viewers that some of the dates shown in the presentation were subject to change due to the still lingering effects of COVID-19. Shuichi immediately finds his mouth being covered by Kokichi's hand. Of course, there's a few lingering chat messages that call the gesture cute or hilarious. Okay, everyone shut up! Kokichi does a zipping gesture across his mouth, despite shaking in excitement himself. Nintendo, don't fuck us over on this. Please show us something good. Oh, and a warning in advance. I might have to mute the audio at some point, so any copywritten music doesn't nuke my fucking stream. A rule that Shuichi can't help but feel is a bit unfair. Twitch knows their users are going to be streaming the showcases, but the creators have no way of knowing what kind of music the publishers will put in their trailers. Muting or lowering the audio isn't hard by any means, but it'd definitely be less stress on streamers if they were given a bit more leeway when events like this happen. As he returns his attention to the stream, the presenters are finishing up their introductions and doing the finger-snapping gesture that's become synonymous with the Nintendo Switch. When the trailer starts to play, he and Kokichi immediately focus on the screen. A dark, stormy sky, accompanied by rocky mountains, is the first thing to be seen. Ganondorf is immediately shown in the next shot, and appears to be dead or unconscious. The The pair immediately look at each other with the same thoughts in mind. Smash Bros? Totally! That's Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf! The man in the trailer is being brought to what is revealed to be an active volcano. That particular scenery gets the gears in Shuichi's head turning. Once it finally clicks that this is the reveal for who he thinks it is, Shuichi can feel himself getting excited. There are even a few people in Kokichi's chat who are on the same track as him. Wait, what? Who is this? Kokichi asks. Guess Shuichi's eagerness is pretty noticeable. Whoa! What the fuck? Ganondorf being tossed into the volcano all but confirms his hunch. It's definitely Tekken. My guess is Kazuha. Yes! Got it right! Kokichi doesn't play too many fighting games, but Shuichi happens to know a bit about Tekken from playing it with his cousins growing up. There's no way he'd forget the tradition of the Mishimas tossing one another into active volcanoes. More of Kazuya's gameplay is shown as the trailer goes on. It's so scary how accurate his moves are to the original. Just goes to show how much effort Mr. Sakurai put into all of these characters. Shuichi can't help fanboying over how great this character looks. Sorry for Shu being too much in awe to say anything intelligible. Someone's definitely excited here. He can see himself on the screen, and it does in fact look pretty dorky with how much his face is lighting up. Both young adults start to laugh once Kazuha dumps the bodies of Captain Falcon, Pit, Min-Min, and Marth off the cliff before showing glimpses of his devil transformation. Guess those guys are dead, Kokichi laughs. Too bad for all the Marth mains out there. The first trailer appears to end with the Smash Bros. Ultimate X Tekken logo. But then Kazuya walks into frame, palming a struggling Kirby like a basketball. It's adorably tragic to see Kirby fall to his apparent doom. He and Kokichi even play up their shocked reactions for the heck of it. The Twitch chat was hysterical too, even though Shuichi is about 98% sure they all knew Kirby would be fine anyway. Sure enough, the announcement finishes just as Kirby floats away unnoticed. I didn't think they'd do a reveal first, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me that they did. No duh they opened with this, Shumai. They already know new fighters are what some people anticipate most for Nintendo presentations. Having it first makes it more likely that people will stay for the rest of the stream. The two of them then notice the chat going on for a bit about who could potentially be the last fighter, while Mr. Sakurai shows a quick glimpse of Kazuya's moves, which both recognize as a lofty yet amazing amount. Kokichi tells his viewers that he won't make any guesses because, at the end of the day, the last fighter could be anyone at this point. Next comes an announcement that both the original Life is Strange collection and the newest installment are coming to the Switch. It was a series both young adults had played for Kokichi's audience in the past. Gameplay didn't invent the wheel by any means, but the game's story really resonated with the two men. They were close to the ages of the characters, so it was easier to relate to their troubles. Kokichi makes a joke that the gameplay not final message translates to, yeah, this ain't about how it'll run on the Switch. Shuichi still laughs, but also expresses his interest in the new title, which prompts Kokichi to ask his subscribers if they'd like to watch him and Shuichi play it when it releases. It's not so surprising to see a majority of the chat type that they'd love to see a live stream or YouTube series of it. Kokichi groans once the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy game starts playing. Ugh, this again? Why bother showing it off so much? He pops open his ramune and takes a long sip. Considering the game already had a lengthy presentation a day or so before, Kokichi being upset at its inclusion is understandable. The next couple of announcements don't really do anything for either of them. The game with worms just looked bizarre and even experienced some dropped frames mid-presentation, and the university simulator was also pretty hard. Astria Ascending had a nice art style, but that's all either of them could comment on due to only snippets of gameplay being shown. Kokichi and Shuichi decided to take these less excitable moments to just enjoy their lunch and talk with the chat. Not long after, it's the Monkey Ball and Mario Party announcements that finish up. Kokichi expresses a big interest in hitting up friends for the latter game, the known ruiner of friendships, while debating if the Monkey Ball collection would lean more towards the rage-inducing or challenging category. But he and his chat immediately tense up once the word Metroid gets dropped. Wide-eyed, Kokichi bounces on the floor as he looks back and forth between the video and his chat. Ooh, shit, are we finally getting news on Metroid Prime 4? All Shuichi knew about the series was that it was where Samus came from. Other than that, he can't say he's ever watched the games or played them himself. He can definitely understand how upset Kokichi is when the announcer explains that they are working hard on the next numbered title. That essentially means there won't be any footage for this particular game. He can vaguely recall that it's one of the few Nintendo projects that has either been announced or simply given a title for a while, but nothing more. The other was Bayonetta 3. Kokichi does seem to perk up a little bit when the presenter tells them as a view to take a look at the new project. Seeing a screen with Metroid 5 leaves Shuichi a little confused. They're finishing an entirely different 5th game before finishing the 4th? Not quite, Kokichi shakes his head. You see, the Prime games are sort of a separate series, and they're the only games that are full 3D instead of 2.5D. A cutscene plays out with Samus walking down a corridor, spotting a new design as opposed to her trademark orange armor. The graphics already look promising. An ominous noise can be heard in the trailer, which reveals itself as a large white robot of sorts. It starts to chase Samus, making the video jump from a cinematic to what looks to be in-game footage. She's seen jumping all over the place while running from the robot before her pursuer ultimately catches her. Metroid Dread is revealed as the title. Throughout the next glimpses of the gameplay, both Kokichi and Shuichi are in complete awe. Whoa! This looks incredible. A little scary, too. The end of the trailer gives an October release date. Saying this catches Kokichi by total surprise is an understatement. Curry is nearly spilled on the carpet with how fast he springs up from the floor. What? This year? Holy shit, Nintendo did a good job keeping this secret. October, though? Kokichi gets up right in front of his webcam and pumps his fist. Let's go! Hey, you're going to knock the food over! The next few titles are shown in quick succession. Kokichi has to literally dive for the laptop in order to mute the stream audio once a Just Dance game shows up. Nice try, but you're not nuking this channel, bitch! He takes a rather proud bite of a piece of pork. At least you guys can dance to Beyonce, I guess. Woohoo for a trashy nightclub simulator. The last bit of his sentence drips with so much sarcasm that even Shuichi can't help but snort. Neither of them really comment on the strange racing game shown off, but Kokichi does cheer over the news of a totally new Dragon Ball game that isn't the same story again, among other things. His audience really appreciates his sarcasm. The response for both the new Mario Golf and the new Monster Hunter Stories games is generally more favorable. Neither of them usually play any type of sports game, but the gameplay for the golfing game actually looks pretty fun. It's like taking elements of a Mario Kart game and mixing some golf in, Shuichi comments. Don't do sports myself per se, but the game does look kind of enjoyable. Monster Hunter is one of the rare few series that both of them have played. The most recent title for the Switch, Monster Hunter Rise, happens to be a game the two of them cooperate in for Kokichi streams occasionally, while the Stories spin-off has a drastically different approach with its combat system and art design. It still looks relatively fun. Neither of them played the previous title, but are willing to dip their toes in the sequel to see if they enjoy it. That's assuming they don't need any prior knowledge from the first game to understand this one. After the release dates are dropped for Monster Hunter Stories 2, a silhouette with the caption, "A new game from the head of a certain company," is shown. WarioWare, huh? Kokichi sounds a bit surprised. Didn't expect to see that here, but cool. Shuichi's heard a lot of the franchise for sure, but he can't say he's a fan of the gameplay. You play this series a lot? This probably isn't the case. For as long as they've lived together, he can't recall a time he's seen Kokichi play one of these games. Not really, his boyfriend shakes his head. All the games in the series are basically a bunch of short and random minigames thrown together for the title. He scratches the back of his head. Maybe I played one during the Wii era, but I'm not sure. These kind of games don't really grab my attention, but other people can probably find it goofy and fun. When the narration with Wario's voice actor wraps up, those presenting the direct itself recap the game's contents. Kokichi takes the time to ask the chat how they're feeling so far. This might just be me, but I think what Nintendo's shown us so far is already more captivating. And it hasn't just been a single game that's been the cause, Shuichi says. Kokichi's eyes linger on the incoming chat messages. Chat agrees with ya. There's a little bit for everyone this time. Nintendo's got the edge over the others. Wouldn't be surprised if they take the win for E3 this year. They don't interact with the stream for too long once they hear the signature snap. What game would be shown next? A busy train station is shown at the start of the trailer, followed by a shot with a crowd of high school students. Kokichi's eyes instantly light up as he drags out a gasp. Shuichi peeks at the chat and sees a bunch of messages saying things like SMVT hype and could it be? These really are the only ones he can make out with how fast the log is going up.
As a high school student living in Tokyo, your life is fairly normal.
Who Shuichi presumes to be the protagonist walks into the shot. He feels Kokichi elbow his chest. Shuma, you didn't tell me you were in this game. Huh? Come on. That doesn't even look like me that much. Aside from the eyes, black and white uniform, body shape, and maybe the hair, there isn't that big a resemblance. And of course Kokichi's Twitch chat is more than willing to play along with the joke. It certainly doesn't help Shuichi's case when the protagonist fusses with a mysterious person and alters his appearance. His boyfriend falls on his back with an absolute hysteric, "Oh my god! He's even got your hair color, Shu!" Shuichi feels his face heat up. "My hair isn't even that shade of blue." "Pfft, come on, it's bluish black, and the main character has both of those colors. Ergo, you're the main character again." He smiles playfully as he brings a finger towards his lips. Shuichi has a bad feeling that the next words to leave his boyfriend's mouth are meant to rile him up. "And that demon form of his makes me wonder if you're hiding your own body's true form, Shu." Kokichi winks smugly. The ex-ultimate must be feeling so cocky that he won. Hell, the arm he raised just now was the one with his king chess piece tattoo. Kokichi's way of saying checkmate, essentially. Yeah, he should have expected Kokichi to pull something like this. Did that mean he'd let his boyfriend get the last laugh? Nope. Shuichi rolls his eyes. You of all people should know what my body looks like. Choosing the arm that holds his own chess-themed tattoo, Shuichi brings his hand up to brush a few stray hairs from Kokichi's face while the young man is mid-drink. Unless you need me to jog your memory. How he hopes it comes off as seductive as he thinks it sounded in his head. Kokichi chokes on his drink. It takes a moment or two of coughing for him to get back some before he glares at Shuichi. "You asshole." "I love you too." The other's face is beet red as he tries to regain control of the situation by pointing out the ongoing stream. "Ooh, is that Jack Frost? Graphics and gameplay are 10 out of 10, am I right?" Unfortunately, Kokichi's audience turns on him, saying things like, "Look who got," and lines of, "Damn Shuichi, pulling out those bedroom eyes," or several water drop emojis, make him any less embarrassed than Kokichi. So, in a way, they're even. Shuichi kissed his pouting partner on the cheek. "Truce?" "Fine, but only because you begged me." He didn't really, but he knows Kokichi isn't being serious. "Gotta admit, your comeback game is getting better. Don't expect that to last forever, though," Kokichi playfully warns before kissing his cheek. The trailer continues until revealing the game's November release date, as well as the date for the pre-orders.
Let's see a few more Nintendo Switch headlines.
As the presenter snaps his fingers, both Shuichi and Kokichi do the same. "So, what do you think will—"
Celebrate 10 years of Danganronpa in despair.
What?
Ahem, ahem. Testing, testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system.
That all-too-familiar bear suddenly shows up on screen. Flashes of moments from their first 2 games in the series, followed by scenes from the video game version of their season of Danganronpa play out. No freaking way! Tsumugi actually got it done! Kokichi glances at the incoming messages. Guys, chill out! None of us work for her. We wouldn't have known about these ports. Decadence, Shuichi mumbles. I guess that makes sense. Play on the word decade, and the regular word's association with luxury or richness. Fitting if this is a game with all the games bundled in one. The 10th anniversary of the franchise was actually last year, but the pandemic really affected some of the plans Tsumugi had in store to celebrate the milestone. At least, that's what she told those from Season 53. Maybe now that the world was recovering, it felt like a good time to announce the collection. Will you guys play it? I mean, we've already played all the games in our own time, so there doesn't seem like much of a point to do that, Kokichi says. If there's a collector's edition with good merchandise, then maybe we'll get it. So, yeah, low priority buy, but it's still exciting news. You guys have wanted Switch ports for a while. No, that's wrong. Shuichi experiences some serious deja vu from hearing that catchphrase, even if it wasn't a clip of himself saying it. Nagito Komaeda appears on screen, but something seems off. It doesn't take long for either of them to notice it. His CG wasn't like that before, right? Nuh-uh, he didn't have a shirt like that in the original. What the heck is going on? Nagito's CG fades to white and reveals some familiar gameplay of Makoto Naegi's sprite on some typical board game resembling Jabberwock Island. Shuichi can even make out sprites of Kotoko Utsugi, Yasuhiro Hakakure, and even Kokichi.
Are you okay? Plus, the board game from Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony has been expanded into a standalone game. Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp.
Kokichi is on his feet immediately. Bitch, what the fuck? The man is clearly taken by surprise. Shuichi can't blame him. He's in the same boat. The former detective can only imagine how stupid their faces look from this reveal. Neither of them are horrified by any means. The company has been in good hands ever since Tsumugi managed to take over. They're just completely dumbfounded by how out of nowhere this announcement came. Shuichi still hasn't said anything, though his face probably looks like a fish with how long his mouth has been hanging open. Meanwhile, Kokichi is fast-pacing all over the room, trying to process the reveal. It takes a brief interaction with both Leon and Rentaro in their swimwear, the latter's building game looking pretty accurate to real life, for Kokichi to finally sit down and bring it all in. Oh my god, it's fan service again! He laughs, commenting on it being such a Tsumugi move, apparently. Shumai, call that blueberry bitch up! She's got some serious explaining to do! Seems like an alright time given that the presenter already mentions that the digital games and the collections come to Switch later this year. He pulls out his smartphone and scrolls through until he finds Tsumugi's contact info. Sure thing, he chuckles. Kokichi mouths for Shuichi to put the phone on speaker, which he complies with. It only takes about 2 or 3 rings from the other line for Tsumugi to pick up. Hi, Shuichi, Tsumugi greets. Shuichi has a feeling she already knows why he's calling so suddenly. Wow, this Fatal Frame game looks like the perfect thing the two of you would do for Halloween, right? Yeah, big spooky Halloween stream, whatever. When exactly were you planning on telling us you made a new project, you sneaky slut? They can hear her giggle on the other line. Well, I can't exactly break the rules of my own NDAs. All I'm legally allowed to disclose or discuss is anything related to what everyone just saw in the announcement. So, no dates, prices, or story questions until we make those announcements ourselves. Annoyed, Kokichi sticks his tongue out to the phone. Neither him nor Shuichi have been paying attention to the direct, with the focus now being on that weird game with Mario and the Rabbids. It seems fine to zone out a bit. Boo, you whore. You're no fun. You make a new game with us in the OG game reps and then just blue ball us? He mockingly shakes his head. Shame on you, Tsumugi. I thought you were better than that. Oh well, guess I won't reserve a copy for you when we drop the release date. Fine by me, he shrugs. My loyal subscribers will all boycott this project alongside me. Right, guys? A few definitely seem on board, but Shuichi notices that way more say they're still planning on either buying the game or the collection for themselves. Shuichi can't help but laugh a bit at how immediately Kokichi's audience shuts him down, be it serious or just to continue the joke. It looks like you're outnumbered. The former leader pouts, as if he's preparing one of his infamous instances of crocodile tears, only for him to morph his expression into one of minor surprise. Wow, you're being really salty today, chat. Maybe I'll have my mods do a quick round of banning and we'll see who gets the laugh. Just kidding. You fucks all right. He snatches the phone from Shuichi. "Kay, thanks for calling and interrupting the stream. See you whenever, Tsumugi." But you called me. Tsumugi's voice is cut off once Kokichi forcefully ends the call. Shuichi fumbles when his phone is tossed back to him without warning. Well, that was a roller coaster. I'll say, Nishishi, but at least one good thing came from this. Oh, what's that? Kokichi scoots closer to Shuichi and rests his head on the former detective's shoulder. I get to see what you look like in a swimsuit. I bet it'll be super lame. Kokichi, you've seen me in swimwear before. Plenty of times. He laughs. I've seen real-world Shuichi in swimwear, but Danganronpa Shuichi, the ultimate detective, is a whole different ballpark. Are they, though? Shuichi likes to think he's done enough growing over the past couple of years to separate himself from his character in the game/show. All of them have. Well, whatever. He'll just let Kokichi have his fun. He doesn't mind it one bit. Besides, it might be fun to see what this new game has to offer once it releases. Goddess knows playing Talent Development Program and Love Across the Universe were wacky enough as is. A whole game using the former's mechanics that adds more characters certainly has potential for good quality interactions, on top of gratuitous amounts of fan service meme potential. Hey, Shuichi. Huh? Geez, zoning out much? Snap out of it. They're about to show some stuff for Breath of the Wild too, Kokichi says. Shuichi sheepishly laughs. Right. My bad, babe. The two of them continue watching with Kokichi's chat, Both are in absolute awe over how the game looks just as gorgeous as its predecessor, even if the footage is just a teaser at what to expect from the game. Shuichi eagerly awaits its 2022 release with great anticipation. Needless to say, with the sheer amount of good quality announcements today, plus the buzz both Kokichi and Shuichi can already guess is going around online, Nintendo took the win at E3 this year. A few days later, I don't know if I should laugh or be offended over how inaccurate this is. That's so rude, Shumai. What's wrong with your lovely boyfriend having some muscle? The internet was already losing its mind over the new splash screen for Danganronpa S, portraying Kokichi with abs. It's only been a few hours, and already social media platforms are floored with memes and artwork of in-game Kokichi's summer outfit. Shuichi snickers. Kokichi, we've both seen your body. We know it's not true. Blame Tsumugi for giving me abs, then. I'm pretty sure she's not the art director for the game. Besides, the title screen art and the CG with Kaito in them look like they're made by different people, so it's probably an artistic choice or a shading thing. Kokichi puts his phone down on the countertop. Fine, but you better explain that to little Miss Ex-Assassin. Why? Because I might have sent the pics to my dumb brother. Shuichi sighs. Why do you do this to yourself? Yo, Makiro! Kokichi just sent me something! Kaito brings up his group chat with the twins and sees that 2 images are loading up. The first is a picture of him and Maki in their swimwear with a group of other characters from the games. Oh hey, this must be that new game Tsumugi's working on. He flashes the image to Maki as she takes her seat on the couch. Damn, we both look just as good now as we did back then. His comment makes the former assassin's cheeks flush. You idiot. The other image is in a different style, but it looks like it's the title screen. He notices that his little brother is one of the characters featured there. Not that it surprises him. Oi, good for hit! That's when he barely reads the text attached to the second image. Wow, I'm more swole than you and Makiro. Jealous yet? Oh, fuck! Kaito barely takes the chance to notice that both his character and Maki's do in fact lack definition in their abs compared to Kokichi. Maki suddenly stands up from the couch and makes her way to the kitchen. Maki, what are you doing? I'm going to kill whoever thought it was a good idea to draw that cursed image, then kill Tsumugi for approving it, and then go strangle your brother for rubbing it in our faces. Makiro, hold up! It's just a joke!